The Battle Tavern.
Like, this shit about to be easy. This shit ain't nothing.
So Colin, how's next year going, man?
Not a lot
Big
right now,
changes
just
in the
because
world,
it's
man.
so far away. But yeah, it's so hard because like I want to be excited, but it's like 9 months until anything is.
Are you you guys starting to look at like apartments or places or anything so far? Or?
It's not even worth it right now because everything changes so fast.
You almost have to wait until like April or May before you even look.
Probably the like 3-4 months out area is when we can actually start to like look.
Cool, dude.
And then
no, I really think it'd be sweet if we all were able to just do like even just like a long weekend and spend like a day or two and just come see some stuff.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Once we get there,
Probably-
like set up, have a space,
Yeah,
find a
probably like
nice.
beginning of like 2025.
Yep.
Do you know what I mean?
Yep.
So then like you get some
Yeah,
time to
that way
settle
you
in, and
guys
then
can
we
have
just
we could even make sure everyone has like a Friday off and do a nice like 3-day weekend and just
yeah, dude, it'd be sweet.
that'd be awesome.
Do you know what area you'll be in?
I'll be working right in Midtown Atlanta.
Oh hell yeah, that'll be really
yeah,
sweet.
like downtown.
Man, you trying to get me to go to the dirty South?
Yeah.
Oh
No.
man, I don't think they're ready for me down there, man.
I think they are, Pugs. I'm gonna be honest. I think they're ready.
It'll be sweet.
They could I don't think they can handle you, but I mean they're gonna have to handle. That's all I'm saying.
They might not have to deal with me because fucking planes and shit.
I mean, if you fly, what is it? So I'm sure Colin's seen this. I think it's Southwest or American that's giving complimentary seats to what they call quote unquote plus size travelers.
Oh hell yeah!
When they give you basically 2 seats next to each other, you're like, easy money.
Wow.
Dude, and the thing is, I only need one. I'm a small big fella. It's great.
No, I know. You're like I'm a big fella, but I'm not like
man.
big, you know.
But like if I had a second seat, I could sprawl out a bit, I could be comfy.
Pugs is just out here like, I'm gonna take advantage. It's fine. It's cool.
Hey, look, the world never lets me have shit, man. I'm taking what I can get at this point.
Just give me one thing.
Let me have one thing. I mean, they stole something from me again last night, for fuck's sake. I mean, come on.
I know, man.
Yeah, I mean, I've still never been on a plane, and I really have no aspirations to at the moment either.
I don't know, man. I think it'd be really fun.
Look, a big hunk of metal's not supposed to be going through the fucking sky. That's the way I look at it. All right, I fucking suck at heights, and I don't know. I know there's science, but I mean,
yeah.
Who's to say whether or not it stays up in the air? I mean, it either does or it doesn't. You know what I mean?
Who's to say?
All right, can we make that the intro to the show this week?
Yes.
Make what the
yeah. So I think.
Oh, we just have like a small sound bite or something. Start off the show.
It either does or it either stays in the air or it doesn't. So I think we could start here because I think it's just gonna be us three today. So.
You know what it is, what it is. So let's get into the sadness and get it out of the way first.
Sure. No, I wanna go off your last statement because I feel like this is a very warranted and justified conversation, and I don't know if we actually had it before, but do you guys have any like rational fears that like are genuine and real? Like not like people being like spiders, like yeah, spiders, but like how often do you have like a real chance that you're gonna like be like actually bit by a spider to the point where you got to go to the hospital? Like me, like my rational fear 100% is like heights, but like only when I know I'm not like secured in a position. Like if I'm like in a building and I'm looking out of a window and I'm at like the 50th floor, no problem. If you get me on a 30-foot ladder, I start shaking after like the like 15-foot mark, and I'm like, all right, like we're gonna make it. But I'll tell you, that is 100% like my top rational fear.
Look, heights is probably my biggest thing too, because
you
think about the stuff you think about. That's what I'm saying. Like you figure I'm a bigger fella, I'm gonna get down there a lot quicker and a lot harder. All right, so that's the one thing I look at. And I mean, as far as like spider bites and stuff like that, I mean, if I get bit by a spider, I'm just gonna assume I'm dying. That's just where
today's his last day on Earth.
Yeah, I don't care what spider bites me. It's just like, okay, that was poison. That was probably a black widow spider. You know, that's immediately what I'm thinking.
Just assume I'm just done.
Just assume I got bit by the most dangerous possible thing, you know. And I'm like, you know what? I'm probably not even gonna make it to the hospital anyway. I'll probably die walking. But
Colin,
well, what do you
you know
consider really a rational fear?
you know that they're only like 2 blocks from a hospital, right?
Literally,
He's like
Yeah.
literally
he's
like
kitty corner.
a
You can
block.
walk there in like 3 minutes.
There's like 50 feet between us and what would be their property at this point. But I mean,
Yeah.
I have so many like fears, I guess you could like I'm terrified of the dark. Like honestly.
No, and I don't. Nothing
You think
terrifies
about it?
me.
Yeah.
Nothing's worse than like, and I'm sure Colin can say the same thing because I'm sure Nova's scared the absolute crap out of him. But
Oh
if you're walking through a dark house and you see something move, or like you hear like just the faintest sound, you're like, all right, my flight or flight has kicked in so fast. It is
There-
nuts.
I've definitely ran into some issues walking into a dark room or house with a black dog, you know. So
Yeah, imagine
this
that.
if I'm walking through the house or something like that, or if I'm walking through my room and I haven't hit the light or hit my lamp yet, and all of a sudden the fucking dog jumps up and pushes me, I'm gonna freak out thinking who's in my room, and I start swinging. Like I didn't even think about it this one time because I came home, had a few beverages, you know.
Adult pops.
Yeah, I got home. It was like 1 or 2 in the morning. I forgot to turn my lamp on before I left the house, so like my room is pitch black. I walk in there and I'm already terrified because this house. I don't know if you know it's haunted. It's got to be
Word.
that, and they fuck around with Ouija boards around here because people are stupid. And yeah, things are awful. But uh, fucking, I walk in here already on edge, and this dog, like, I feel him step on my foot, but I also feel him push me and like shove me back up against the door. And dude, I start swinging. I tripped on something. I fell. It was a fucking circus act, man. But I'm, I guess you could say I'm irrationally scared of the rational fear of the dark, if that makes sense.
You're like, oh, like it's. I mean, it's a peak fear, right? Like it's something that's just like,
Yeah.
dude, this thing is not normal.
I
Like,
always feel like something's like following or like right behind me, you know? It's
dude,
something weird.
I am totally on the same page. Colin, do you have anyone to add to that?
Definitely heights
Dude,
than the
well,
big one.
it's got to be weird for you because I mean, you already are the height. Like,
That's what
come
I'm
on.
saying.
When people say the weather is different up there, I mean it is.
Dude, that always makes me think of like Kareem always tells a story about Wilt Chamberlain. Like they were in an elevator once and some guy got in there, asked Wilt, "Hey, how's the weather up there?" Wilt spits down onto him and he said it's raining. I'm like, holy shit. I mean, you look at this, and Wilt Chamberlain was a massive dude. He was 7 foot plus, and he was just pure muscle. You look up to that dude, you're just
Yeah,
gonna,
7'1". I was looking it up because I had to know.
yeah. You're just looking up to this monstrosity, and I mean Kareem, he's standing next to him too. I think he was 7'2" or 7'3" himself. I mean, if someone spits down at you and says it's raining, you just kind of got to look up to him. It's like, you know what? You're right. It is rain.
Yeah, you were right. Kareem's 7'2". I mean, like, dude, I'm telling you, it is so funny because I have a guy that I at my company that was at the plant that I was at, and then I haven't seen him in a little while. But I mean, dude's literally 7'2". So when I look up to him, like my neck hurts because I'm like looking basically straight up. I'm like, what up, dude? Like, what's going on, man? You know, it's nuts. It's so nuts.
Yeah, it should be
But
wild.
no, dude, I'm telling you, like that's so crazy, dude. That's so funny.
No, it is like, especially like you brought up the ladders thing. It's funny because you pull out a huge ladder, but when you're looking at it, I'm looking at it 6 feet off the ground.
Yeah,
So
'cause I
then
mean, I'm
you
holding
get,
it vertical. I mean, you
yeah,
get that thing vertical, and it's like, oh my
yeah,
god.
and it's like I'm holding it like, ah, it's not that tall at all. Like the top's right there, but I'm already 6 feet off the ground. So then you get on top of the ladder. Now
And
you
you're
got the ladder height plus 6 feet.
yeah. So Colin's literally out there 12 feet in the air for this little ladder,
Yeah,
and he's like, "This is terrifying."
God,
Yeah.
it's so
No, I'm
funny.
totally with you. And like, so if I've never mentioned it, but I've done the Tough Mudder 4 or 5 times now.
Tough
The
mudder.
last one, yeah, the last one we did, there was this obstacle. It's basically kind of built like a triangle, and it's essentially like scaffolding, and you climb up, and there's rope and other stuff to like pull yourself up, and we get to the top of this 50-foot mark, and like you have to just basically climb over the other side of it and then climb down. I get probably to like the 30 or 40-foot mark, and I could just tell I'm like, okay, this is getting really bad. Like I'm getting a lot of like anxiety, like I'm freaking out.
Mhm.
And I get to
Like,
the top and I stop and I'm like, I don't want to like try to like jimmy over, because my fear is that I slip and I slide down the back half and I'm gonna hurt. Like it's gonna be bad.
Mhm.
And I will tell you, like, I had
Ooh.
someone kind of come up next to me. He's like, dude, like, he's like, just fucking, he's like, close your eyes, just like hop over it, and then start climbing down. You'll be fine. And I was just like, no, this is terrible. This is terrible. This is awful.
Could you imagine just being? Can you imagine just getting all the way to the top there and looking over your friend like, "Hey, I don't want to be this guy, but we might have to get the fire department involved." Like,
No,
no, I mean,
I did.
real
I had a
talk though.
fight.
What kind of triangle are we talking about here? Like
Equilateral.
equilateral? See,
Yeah.
you could have rolled down. It would have been fun rolling down that bitch.
No, not 50 feet. I'm not sliding down 50 feet.
50
Be
feet
some
at like a 45
speed.
degree angle, bro. You're
No,
straight.
that's miserable. Pugs,
It's
that's
Low,
almost as
low
bad.
friction
So,
coefficient.
dude, no friction. It's done.
He's breezing.
No, so Pugs and I had this thing, like, I think it was 2 winters ago or 3 winters ago or something like that. We were going to just like a small sledding hill, and Pugs had told me about one time where I think it was either him or his brother, had done Crisco to
Oh,
the bottom
yeah,
of
no.
one of
So,
the sleds. Oh my
yeah,
god, dude!
no.
I thought a Family Vacation, the National Lampoons, when he puts Crisco on the bottom of the like metal garbage can
Yeah,
topper,
then
and he
you
just
cook him and
like
cheese.
I was like, that's
Yeah,
it. No, like
I
Colin, when you say coefficient of friction, it's like 0. That is as close as we're
my
getting.
yeah, so my brother, for whatever reason, he pissed me off earlier in that day, I remember. And my brother, he's 10 years older than me, mind you. And he may not even remember this. Or he might. I don't know. He might have hit his head. But uh he pissed me off and I knew we were going sledding or whatever, so I took one of the sleds or toboggans or two. I don't even remember what exactly he used that day. But I took it when he wasn't watching or paying attention, and I put Crisco on the bottom of it.
Gee.
And the thing is, too, at the bottom of this hill, on like the taller side, people would always like put together a snow ramp and shit at the bottom too.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like a nice little thing. Oh, you get a little bit of air or whatever, hit the ground. It's like soft snow over there. Oh, it's a fun time. So my brother, he goes down this hill, and you could tell immediately that it looked exceptionally quicker. Like he was cooking down this hill. If it would have been a cartoon, you would have saw them flames coming up the snow mountain. That's what it would have looked like. But he goes down, and I didn't realize it at this like before, but he was going toward that ramp. And when I tell you the amount of air he got when he hit this ramp, dude, he probably got at least a good 10 feet in the air. And it was a beautiful sight. Like everybody else was hype about it. He kind of just laid there for a second. And but yeah, that was a time I nearly killed my brother with Crisco. But in my defense, when he did buy his house, he did actually almost shoot me with a gun on accident.
Oh my god.
Yeah, so
On accident is not the right
so
statement.
this one's a really quick story, right? So my brother gets his house. This is the one that he's at in Wyandotte still. Uh, I go over there every once in a while. I would stay over there. I'd stay the night, stay the weekend, whatever. We play video games. He'd make me cry, typical shit. And one night, and I didn't find out about any of this until like the next day, mind you. Uh, but I go grab a drink of water or whatever, and I go to lay back down in the living room. I heard a click upstairs, but didn't think anything about it because I was like 10 years old at the time. I didn't know what guns were. And oh wait, it wasn't even the next day I found out. It made sense the next day, but I didn't find out till I was like a junior or senior year in high school. Trisha, his wife, decided to tell me. He's like, "Oh yeah, no, your brother almost killed you one night when you came over." I'm like, "What?" And she explains it, and I remember the night so vividly. She was like, "Yeah, he heard something down, like moving around downstairs, or he thought somebody broke in the house, and he grabbed his pistol, clipped it, and went to go run out of the room when she had to like jump over the bed and grab him and said, "Your brother's downstairs."
Oh my
Yeah.
So yeah, he almost got me back that time, you know.
Word.
But
Hey, real quick, nice round of applause. Thank you, Judd, for showing up. Yay!
Oh,
Sorry, I swapped
yay!
last night. I was swapping around my hardware late last night, and
As we do.
as we do. Well, I got an 8 terabyte hard drive,
Nice.
and I swapped it out for my 2 terabyte. So I got a 2 terabyte just chilling, and apparently a lot of hardware that I needed for some of the programs for like my games like to play, plus my Discord and all that were on that hard drive. So
Yeah,
Bro.
that's why mine I have it set up where I can actually put in 3 different hard drives. I have the hookups for them. So
Yeah,
I just
so-
I add, I don't replace. The only thing that sucks is if you're truly replacing, you have to do like a full copy and share it over. It's
yeah,
nuts.
see, I tried doing that with the 2, and it didn't quite work the way I wanted it to because it said
Mhm.
all the programs are corrupted. So now I'm just said fuck it. I'm just downloading everything onto it. And so far, everything's going actually pretty smooth. I want to make sure that I got my Discord and everything downloaded within a couple minutes, which was fuck. It was like hell yeah, fuck yeah. But like I got all my Epic games already downloaded last night, so Fortnite, all that's good to go. Moria's good to go. And all the cloud synced over, which is cool. And now I got my Steam stuff downloading right now as we're talking.
We should ask the computer guy. Hey, computer guy, what's the best thing to do?
All right,
With what?
I talked to Pat.
I'm talking to Colin.
Yeah,
Hey,
no,
computer.
I talked to my buddy Pat, and he actually builds PCs for a living.
Nice.
Yeah, so he's just like, yeah, and then I talked to Uncle Paul as well, and they're both like, yeah, you're just gonna have to bite the fucking bullet, and just it's better if you just transfer the
up.
data.
Yeah, suck it up and move on. Yeah.
Yeah, but on the flip side, I got a 2 terabyte hard drive that's chilling that I'll give to whoever wants to wipe it. So
Nice.
and then we're talking to the boy Kenny last night.
Cool. Oh yeah. So we have just talked about some rational fears. Just to finish my last tangent on that one before we move on to anything else. What you guys think about ghosts? You guys think those things are real or what?
They're fucking real. There's one in this goddamn house.
Oh, there is definitely one in this goddamn house. I still got the cocaine mirror from it.
Oh, where's that thing at?
It's in the mudroom on that top shelf, way up there. It's just
Oh
chilling.
my god.
Should we
Yeah.
touch it? Oh my god, the fucking.
You want to talk about it, or do you want me to?
I'm gonna put it. I put it up, so I'm gonna talk about it. When you think I'm missing some details, you can chime in.
You must say I just happened to be there for the whole fucking thing, you know.
So I got this mirror, from
Mirror.
my house,
Mm-hmm.
from my house, from my aunt, right? And I hung it up on this wall, and it was like this mirror was not going fucking anywhere. It was a hook, so it was like it was not going anywhere. The hook in the wall was not going anywhere, right? I had it hooked in, it was good, and it was up there for a few days. And we're outside chilling right now, Pugs, right?
Yeah, it was one of those nights where we were just kind of hanging out, and we ended up going up for the night, and then everything happened.
Okay, yeah. So we're upstairs chilling. Also, we hear bang, and I was like, "What the fuck did Pugs just break?"
Yeah, immediately it couldn't possibly be anything else. It had to be I broke something.
Yeah, yeah. I was like, well, so I come outside. I go, Pugs. And he's like, what? And I'm like, you break something? He's like, no, man, in my room the whole time. I was like, oh fuck.
It's like, I've been here. I'm innocent.
Until
What happened to
proven
innocent
guilty.
until proven guilty? Damn it! Where did this shit go?
So we and him both waddle downstairs, and the first thing we just see are plastic, and we see some shattered glass, and we're like, "What the fuck?" Yeah, that mirror that was secured to the wall. Yeah, it fell right. Everything but the big mirror in the center broke. So now we have a Coke mirror.
Yeah,
And from that day on, we realized this house is haunted, and we can't put mirrors up anywhere else other than the bathroom.
well, yeah. I mean, the fucked up thing about it too is that you come to. So look, I'm gonna put it this way. I've been involved unintentionally and non-voluntarily in every bit of cursedry that has gone on in this household. I just want to put that out there. That shit happened. That had nothing to do with me. That's just a ghost being in this house. You bought a ghost. You bought a house with a ghost in it, and I happen to live here now.
To
On
be
top of
fair,
that, our very very good friend Mr. Bean next door
maybe
has a fucking Ouija board sitting in the crawl space for however fucking long that nobody knew about.
it was in his trunk. But it was in his
Well,
car.
no. He brought it out of his trunk, but it was in the crawl space for a while. I'm telling you,
Uh-huh.
yes, I told you, he told me about this. But even
That
so,
motherfucker.
it was there for a while. He had it in his
This is
car or
every
whatever.
start to every horror movie I've ever seen.
That's what I'm
Oh, a mirror
saying.
crashes. Oh, there's a Ouija board. Yeah, in the next like 3 months, like Pugs is just gonna come out of his room like floating and possessed, and Ethan's gonna be like, "Dude, just stop it. Just get down." Like,
Dude, I mean,
Watch out.
I've always wanted to be lighter on my feet, so it's cool.
dude,
But no, so and here's where it kind of all ties into recently. A few weeks ago, we have a few people over, and Jason goes to grab this fucking Ouija board out of the back of his car. I see him grab it. I'm like, no, put it back. Like I'm like, because I'm jacked at this point, right? Like I'm
you'd
tore.
rather his car be cursed than the house.
Yeah, I would much rather his car just like spontaneously combust than him bring that Ouija board out at that point. But I see him coming out with this fucking board, and I'm like, no, go put it back, go put it back. And before anything happens, fucking Ethan goes and grabs this, walks to the garage, comes back out with whatever
Sawzall.
yeah,
Grab the sawzall.
yeah, he grabbed a sawzall, but he came out through the board and whatever it looked like a trash can. I don't even remember, but he threw it in there, and he saws this thing in half into a couple of pieces or something like that. Mind you, it's 1 in the fucking morning, and this motherfucker's got power tools out with a Ouija board on our front lawn,
And been drinking.
and we've been drinking, and the cops are right down the street, and a million other things. But he finally puts this in, and he's about to try and look really cool in a second here, but he goes and he pours whiskey all over the thing so he can set it on fire, not realizing that it doesn't work like the movies unless it's like 151 proof. So he just doused the fucking Ouija board. Then he goes and grabs a gas canister from the back, goes to pour that on it, and it still won't light because what happened? He doused the fucking Ouija board in whiskey, so now it won't light. So now we just got a Sawzall Ouija board in a bucket at 1 in the morning with a bunch of liquor and gas on it. I was just standing on the porch. I was an innocent bystander, but I happen to live here, and I got to reap all the consequences along with these fuckers too. So,
Yeah, I don't I don't want to be like this guy or anything, but I feel like if you saw a Ouija board in half, that lets the spirits out. Like you're fucked. You're so
Yeah,
done.
I know.
You made it
I didn't
worse.
even
I
a-
think
I
Ethan
didn't
made it
ask for this.
infinitely worse. He made it
Yes.
infinitely worse.
On
Bro
top of
literally
that,
just was
Jason
like,
put the
"Yeah, let
curse
a
of
demon
Ra.
in the house. It's fine." Oh
Jason
my
also
God.
put the curse of Ra on me at some point, and I don't even know what the
He
fuck
did that to
happened
Bro, he
me
there.
sent me
too,
that.
fucker.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
fucker sent the
Yeah.
curse of Rada like so many people. And that has the audacity to go, I didn't actually curse you, dog. I'm like, bullshit! You sent fucking hieroglyphs, you fuck.
Yeah, and I remember when Lil B curses didn't used to be a thing too. That shit happened. James Harden couldn't do
Speaking-
shit for months.
Speaking of that, you guys remember the old text chains you used to get? Like, send to 10 people or you're gonna be cursed for the rest of your life or whatever. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh yeah, I got plenty of those.
Dude. Dude, I like that we're talking about this because I already know Colin's sitting there like, bro, none of this. No. He's like, no.
Oh, are you not a believer?
He needs
Not
a
a
hard
chance.
scientific fact of what's happening.
Well, look, they
That's right.
either exist or they don't, man.
Yeah,
That's
Colin,
right.
just- it's a 50-50,
So I
man.
mean, we both have the same amount of chance then.
Yep.
Yeah, either the house is haunted or it's not. I don't know.
No, this house is definitely haunted, but
No,
on
no,
the positive,
it either is or it isn't. You can't prove that.
I believe we just did.
No.
It'd be a shame.
Where's your
to
facts?
Have,
Where's
know,
your evidence?
Scientific
Where's your
evidence
sources?
to disprove all these
Rock
theories.
Oh, can't beat a rock fact.
Yeah.
No.
You know what, Colin? He's right. If we call anything a rock fact, it's truth. It's hard
true.
truth.
Can't dispute a rock fact.
Nope. I mean,
That's
when a
a
rock
fact.
hits you on the head, man.
And that's a fact.
Oh,
Damn.
so
No, this house is definitely haunted though.
so I mean, what, Colin? You got a rebuttal, or are we gonna go? Or you want to like see me get depressed here again for like 10, 15 minutes?
Round and round.
Which one do you want to see first?
You think my rebuttal is not gonna depress you?
No, because I don't care. I mean, I either like it or I don't.
The rebuttal is that there's not a chance. I mean,
All right. Well,
Wait,
you're wrong.
Time out.
So next
time
subject.
out. Time out. Time out.
What?
Colin, do you not believe in ghosts?
Nope.
You sack of shit.
See? Okay. Because everything stems from very
Oh,
When you
very
die,
old
where's
belief.
your energy go? Where does it go?
What
The
energy?
earth. The earth.
The earth. We're talking
The
about
earth.
earth.
jokes on
Hey.
you guys. Nothing exists. I've already
Matter
been over this.
cannot be created nor destroyed. So you
Exactly.
tell
So the
me.
energy in
Well,
your body
either-
when you
What
die,
energy?
Matter
where
doesn't
does
exist.
it go?
The joules?
We're talking about the fuck. I'm talking about the energy that operates.
Yeah,
in
how
your
do you
fucking
measure
brain.
energy?
I prefer to keep
Joules.
my jewels in my
Joules.
sack. Thank you very much.
The energy in your brain is
Okay.
electrical impulses.
Okay.
What energy are you talking about? The
talking about,
soul?
You know what? Hey, Colin.
Yes, the soul.
Colin, I don't want to get into this too much, but like, if that's the case, then either your neurons fire or they don't. So Pugs' 50-50 theory is seeming more realistic. Every day. It's more and more realistic. It's fine. Our
I ain't
series
never
of this
lost.
podcast is now officially trying to prove
I
that
ain't
his
never lost.
50-50 theory is correct.
Undefeated.
Hey, there's nothing
This
wrong
shit
with
ain't
the
nothing to
50-50
me,
theory
man.
as
These
long as
Pugs,
you
either you win,
ignore.
Pugs, either you win or you don't, man. That's all I'm
This
saying.
shit
100%
ain't nothing to
Himalayan.
me, man.
Hey, there's
I
nothing
am
wrong with
him.
the 50-50 as long as you ignore all scientific and mathematical reasoning. So
Joke's
Yes.
on you.
There you go.
It doesn't exist. Nothing exists, or it might
Hey,
exist.
Colin, either
That's
he
where it
ignores it or
is.
he doesn't. That's all I'm saying.
Hey, at the very basis, it probably a simulation theory, so then it's just a 1 or a 0, 50-50.
All right. Before we get too
dude, that's-
delved into this subject, let's appease Colin here for a bit and make me sad for a little bit. So
Oh, I love
we
it.
can finally get into the details of what happened last night. Ethan did notice that I went upstairs when the game got toward the end because I was playing games with these guys. I was just keeping tabs on it.
Fucking cheated.
Yeah. I mean, what more can you really do? You see, so for those that are ignorant to what's going on right now, Detroit Lions just played the Dallas Cowboys last night in Dallas.
Got robbed.
It was quite literally highway robbery. There was a penalty called on a 2-point conversion that would have won the game for the Lions. Yeah, there were 23 seconds left, but you still can't even get a chance at that point. Lions run this trick play to perfection. They throw it to Decker, who was he was supposed to be listed as an eligible receiver. But all of a sudden, after the play is over, like 20 seconds after the play is over, they throw a flag and say that there's illegal touching, meaning that there's a receiver catching the ball that is not allowed to. He is an ineligible receiver. Now, this causes a whole bunch of problems because, one, Dan Campbell at this point has already told them to expect this play and expect him to check in, this and that. also, there are multiple videos showing not only Jared Goff telling Decker to go over and check in with the ref, but it
Which
also
he did.
shows
Which he literally
exactly.
walked up
Decker
to
walks
the ref,
over, and the ref
and
acknowledges him too.
yeah, he looks and he nods at him. Everyone's
Yeah,
seen the videos because I've seen like 20 or 30 videos this morning of people just fuming. Even like the
even
Dallas guys
Dallas
that are like,
fans
hey, like
like this
they were
is
like,
not
hey,
right.
I'm gonna be honest, like, yeah, they won the game, like flat out.
Yeah, I mean, Jared Goff said it best today. I mean, it's really weird to feel like you won, but you didn't. You know, it.
Hmm.
I there's too many games now where referees and umpires and stuff are kind of taking over the game. With that kind of play, you should have to review every aspect of why you made that call. Because I mean,
Yeah.
if you look at that replay, you look at those videos and everything, there's no reason to think that he shouldn't have been eligible. Even to the formation, people try to say that there was an illegal formation, which it wasn't. The receiver that was on the bottom with Decker was lined up behind him, which would have made him an eligible tight end. So there's no excuse there either. Um, but yeah, they convert the 2-point conversion that would have put them up 21-20, and I mean they had a hell of a drive to even get a chance at it too. That was a game that they absolutely earned at that point, and which we'll get into in a second here, it totally changes the playoff landscape right now. Well, not totally changes it, but changes the possibilities, right?
Hmm.
Um, so, I mean, you figure the Lions would have had an opportunity to be in the running for the 1 seed still and have full home advantage, get a bye in the first week, which I honestly would prefer them not to get a bye in the first week so that they don't get stagnant, because that seems to be a thing that happens. But even just to have home field advantage throughout the playoffs, that's a huge deal. And the only way that they could have guaranteed that they can do it, and if they win last night, they go into today with the number 1 seed with a half a game ahead of the other two. You figure the 49ers, the Eagles, and the Lions are the top 3 seeds right now. They at the moment have a tied record of 11-4, right? Or whatever the case. But they're all tied for first. Lions have to win both of their last games, which would be Dallas and the Vikings. They have to win both of those games, and the Niners and Eagles each have to lose one of their next games. And that's not too far fetched either which way. If we went out, and Dallas is the harder of the two games that we got to play, because the Vikings are going to be playing down a couple of pretty big significant players on our last game anyway.
And we play them at home.
Exactly. So it's like this is a huge deal. And Dallas, I mean, it's a big deal for Dallas too, because if Dallas loses this game last night, they can't win the division. But now it's like now it changes that NFC East division again, like who's gonna win it, this and that. But refs have, and I mean, it was acknowledged that there was a mistake made. Everybody's seen it. There should be some kind of accountability or consequence for this. Like this can't, and this has been a crew that has done this on multiple games this year, in prime time.
Well, the thing is, Pugs, too, like, and I was talking with someone about it this morning, but like, the whole idea of like, you remember, I think it was like 5 years ago now, there was this Seahawks
The
and Rams
Saint,
game, and there was the
no,
clear,
it
you
was
know,
the
or
Saints and
Saints,
the
yeah,
Rams.
Saints and
Yep, I
Rams,
know
but
exactly
it
what
was
you're
a
talking
clear
about.
pass interference, like just the no call, and the thing is about a lot of leagues, and it's not even just the NFL, the NBA does it a lot, MLB does it a lot, where they acknowledge after the game, like, yeah, we made a mistake that really this would have changed the entire game,
Yeah, I mean, the Lions are
and
going to
would
get
have
their
resulted in a
apology letter
difference.
today, but it's not going to do anything.
Yeah, but
That's just it.
there's the unfortunate part of professional sports is that they are considered an entertainment business, and they're not going to go back and rectify it. They don't care.
Yeah,
It's just simple.
yeah, because I mean,
You got to think about any time that they've done it in college football. They don't care really. They hey, we made a mistake, my bad. Result stands.
yeah,
But that's the thing that sucks.
yeah.
Well, how many other
Speaking of college
mistakes
football, too.
happen throughout the game, though. You know,
No,
this is
and
the
that's what
big
we're saying.
headline because it's the last second. It's the 1 point
Well,
difference.
it's the thing that would have made the actual true difference of the game.
Yeah, but
That's the
everything
thing.
is consequential. So I mean, a bad
No, and
call
I
in the
agree.
first quarter could
No, and I
compound into
totally
a
agree.
yeah. So
And I'm not saying that, but it's the thing is too, like, when you make a controversial call, things happen, you're people, and a lot of, like,
absolutely.
even the guys on the Lions were like, hey, stuff happens, like, it is what it is.
The
But
thing
the part
is,
of it
like,
that really
this one
sucks
wasn't so
sucks
much a
away,
controversial
like,
call.
no, that's what I'm saying, but I'm saying just across the board, any controversial call, the only thing that sucks is that people point to it, but also at the same time, and I'll recognize it the same way Colin's kind of mentioning, yes, there are several things that could have led up to that point. Totally viable, totally possible. The thing that sucks is that, like, especially in this case, making that call or not making that call 100% affected the game. And yes, 50 other things could have gone wrong throughout the game, but it just sucks that it happens to be something that successfully happened. Like, to me, like, when they have those calls where, okay, yep, there's a, they're not sure if a ball was a fumble or not, and what happens is, okay, well, a player gets it, goes and runs down and scores, and then they call it back because they weren't sure if it was a fumble or not. Like, things like that, I just I think there's got to be a big change in a lot of sports where things have to be more reviewable. Like, I think in European soccer, they started doing it much more where they have what they call the VAR, the video assisted review, where at any point, if those guys sitting in that room, and there's like 3 or 4 of them, if they see anything, they can just tell the ref, hey, stop it. Here's what we have to do to fix it. Because it gets so, high pressure and there's a lot of things going on, these referees, they're people. They make mistakes, but there has to be some other way to review and correct issues when they happen. That's my opinion on it, because it happens way too often. That's where I'm at.
Yeah,
I actually think it should go the other way. I think we need to
get
totally
that.
eliminate the video review.
Yeah.
Because it's
Really?
starting to become a game show of just rules and rule consideration, go over every play. I mean, and then what justifies something under review? Why does this play get another 5 minutes of official review, 30 different camera angles, 14
Nope,
guys
I
looking
hear
at
ya.
it? But the one holding that totally got ignored, well, already on to the next play. Oh well, guess you missed it.
Yeah.
So I feel like
Yeah.
you have to, you're saying approach the end of review everything, which could be, but then I think all you're
Well, I'm
doing
not
is
saying review
putting chess
everything, but
pieces on a
reviewing.
board and then watching the game play out instead of
Yeah.
enjoying the game. The game, part of the game is incorrect calls, is what you miss, is what you know.
And I
That's
agree.
why
And
they
if that's
say.
the case, and you do that, I think the game changes considerably in a different way too. Which
Yep,
is like
absolutely.
those calls where they said it was a touchdown and the guy was out of bounds by a little bit. It is what it is, and I
Yep.
agree with you. I think there has to be a change one way or the other. To me,
Yep.
that makes sense. Whether
Yeah.
you say, okay, well then now we introduce, maybe, and this is the thing that makes me so upset about a lot of sports, because some sports make being a referee a full-time job. Hockey does it. NFL, most of those guys are people who have day jobs. They don't referee full-time. That's not their full-time job. And that's the thing that sucks, because then they're not really training to be better at being a referee. You know what I mean?
Nice paycheck
And
and go home.
I think that leads to the same thing. Like, if that's your case, where you say, "Hey, I think we should just do no video review, or very minimum in case of, like, hey, they get 2 challenge flags a game, and that's the only time you can review,"
perfect.
or whatever, right?
Yep.
I understand that, but then you have to have a conversation of, okay, then you make these referees, this is their full-time job, they get paid, $90,000 a year, and this is what they have to do.
Which I'm all
That's the
for.
case.
Put a couple more guys on the field.
and
Give some jobs. It's the NFL. Telling me you can't afford it?
And I hear you, and I think that would be something that would be useful, but I think one way or the other, whether they start to review more or they stop to review almost all the time, I think in the same case that something's got to happen, because they're in like a limbo where, oh well, we only review only certain things, and other things we don't review at all.
Yep, and
like,
it's weird.
That's
People don't
either
like it. You can see.
you do it or you start
Yep.
to wean off of it, right? Because it becomes the same issue both ways. To me, like, the fans get a little crazy, but I mean, I understand, because they're watching it 15 times on a monitor, seeing and they go, "Yep, I know exactly what happened." Those referees are seeing this in full time. It's really quick, and I have to try to spot out everything I can.
Yep.
You know,
Yeah,
we're
I
people.
mean,
It's gonna be
really,
it's
the
gonna
main
be what it
difference
is.
from all this, and like, I agree with all this, but the main difference from that and last night, this is a play that was completed. They let go to completion with a score on the board. They list the score and everything. And
Mhm.
then they decide after the play, oh, we're going to say he wasn't eligible, even though he very
Mhm.
clearly was reported and was eligible. It
Yeah, if he
was
wasn't eligible, why does the animation play? Why does the the touchdown
right.
get called? Why does this should
Yeah.
be known? Oh, he's ineligible. It's not a touchdown. Done.
Yeah, the flag should have been
Yeah, it
thrown
should have.
immediately
Yep.
from the
As
start of the
soon as it
play if
started.
he was an
I agree.
ineligible
I agree.
receiver. Yeah, he should have
Yeah.
been thrown
And
right
that's
then. It shouldn't have been thrown later.
that's and that's why
That's the main
I think
difference
a
from
big
last night.
True.
Yeah.
Yep.
yeah,
True.
I think that's one of the big things that people make jokes about the whole thing of like people calling it ref ball. Like it seems like people are trying to fix a situation after it's been completed or done. Do you know what I mean? And it's kind of one of those where you're like, that sucks. Like it almost feels like people are being, quote unquote paid off, or people talk about corruption. And between us, I'm sure there is some. I'm sure there's people that try to quote unquote influence and whatever. But at the same time, like there's gotta be a point where you're just like, okay, man, like we gotta find some really high ethical people. Like they gotta be really scrutinized throughout the season heavily. And like I said, goes back to my point. Make it a full time job. You get scrutinized. You have a reporting system. You have ways to correct issues when you've messed up, and we move on. But without this like stringent system, it's kind of just like, okay, well, these are your home refs. You're playing at home, and sometimes they're gonna call things that aren't quite right.
It's part of
That's
the
the way
game.
it is.
That's yeah.
No, and I agree. And I like you said
Oh,
too.
the
Like
game,
there's
huh? What do you
if
know
there's
about the
15.
game?
Yeah, that's Pugs just lost the game. That's nuts.
Yeah, go fucking figure.
Fuck.
Everybody
Dude,
listening, all the like 10 people listening to this just lost the game.
all the
Get
4
fucked.
people that'll listen today are gonna lose the game. That's nuts.
Oh yeah.
And at the
that's all that
same
matters.
time, they're all gonna hear a unanimous fuck the same time in this podcast.
There's gonna be
Right.
there's gonna be so many people that'll just be like, "Damn it, lost it."
So Pug's already
But
brought it
yeah,
up.
I mean, I'm with you, Colin. I think we gotta. I think there's got to be a big change to a lot
There
of stuff.
needs to be. There needs to be. But yeah, Pug's already
Yeah.
brought it up.
It's just getting ridiculous to me, man.
We can now look forward to tomorrow's football.
Yeah.
Yay!
Man, fuck football today, bro. I want to get drunk and forget the year.
Well, that's
Dude,
that's
tomorrow's
good
gonna be
because you
great.
just have to watch the game tomorrow.
Yep. New year,
Games tomorrow.
college. Gonna get crazy.
Yes, sir.
Oh, speaking of college, bro, you see your boys at FSU or no, not yeah,
Oh, the
FSU.
Georgia game.
Dude,
Yeah.
they got
63 to
Yeah.
3. They got absolutely
Yeah.
mollywopped is what happened there. When your best player is your kicker for the game, I mean, come on.
Okay, do you
It's-
think they would have performed that way in the playoffs, though? Was it a
Yeah.
good
No.
idea to pull them?
No. I think genuinely
I think it would have been just as
that
bad.
I think Michigan would have been so much happier
Yes.
if
I feel it would have
that
been
had
an
happened.
easier
Like, 'cause
game for them.
Michigan would have beaten them by 30 points easily if they played to the same degree that Florida did. Like if Florida was playing that, but I guess the whole thing of it is like Florida's quarterback that was playing in that game got injured like right away.
Mhm. Oh, jeez.
I mean, they had a couple of their starters. I think they rested because they're going to like direct drafts or whatever. But like at the same time, if they would
Well,
have
that's the thing
been
too. I
nearly as
mean,
good.
you start to consider the mentality. It's a lot different game when you're in the playoffs against the number
Mhm.
1 seed with a chance for the championship, versus Georgia, high competition for the Orange Bowl, Very
Mhm.
different mentality going into that game. So
Also begs the question, how on earth did Georgia not at least get a nod for the playoff over like Texas or something?
Mhm.
It'll be interesting to see how tomorrow's games go and what people will say about the playoffs.
There's only one
Should have
game
been.
that people are really going to be wanting to watch. and it's the one that U of M fans are dreading today.
God, I don't know. It'll be an interesting game to watch. I got tomorrow off, so it's gonna be awesome.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
No, I think that one will be. I think the Texas Washington game will be such a huge shootout. I think it'll be more fun to watch because these guys are gonna be, they'll be throwing like crazy. It'll be nuts.
Yeah.
So I'm excited for it. I think it'll be a lot of fun to watch.
Yeah. Man, it's so nice having Cole back on the podcast, man. I mean, I'm just glad to see that you made it back. I'm just glad to see you made it back from work safe, man. That's all. I know you had a busy week last week.
Hey, dude. Hey, don't worry about it. I had some business to take care of. All right.
You know what they say about those planes? 50-50 in the air.
That's what I'm saying, man.
Hey, Santa. It's either he's either real or he's not,
Right.
and I can't tell you either way because it's still a 50-50.
Where do you think the presents come from, huh?
I don't know.
Think your parents buy them shits?
Either they come from your parents or they come from Santa.
50-50.
Your childhood was either a lie or it wasn't.
That's right.
That's the truth.
What's it gonna be?
The first thing we do to all of our children? Lie.
Oh, dude. That's it. Rule number 1. When in doubt, lie, lie, lie until they think you're right.
Dude,
then we wonder why people are honest.
Dude, it's so funny because like with kids now, I feel like every time you kind of make up like half truths just to like get them to do stuff because kids are now like why kids like, okay, like let's go do this. Why, and they spend
because I said so, damn it.
Until you give them until you give them a real answer, and even because I said so, they don't like that. So you're just like, all right, I guess I'll give you a real answer. Like,
see, but that's
all right.
Cool
So I called Santa and Jesus this year, and he says like, if you don't eat your vegetables, he's sending you to the basement, and kids will freak out. It'll be so yeah. You're literally getting banned to the Shadow Realm, Kaiba. You know, it's a wrap. You're about to get blasted by Exodia this week, so you better chill.
Obliterate these cards.
Dude, Colin would he'd go up to like a kid and be like, "All right, bro, Goku told me if you don't do this, you'll never get another Fortnite win for the rest of your life." He's like, "All right,
if you don't eat your vegetables and work real hard, you're never gonna be a Super Saiyan."
Yeah.
Hands the kid a fucking sensu. Hands the kid a fucking green bean. Yo, it's a sensu bean. Fucking eat it.
Yeah,
there's no.
Colin's out here just being like,
eat vegetables.
Colin's just laughing at this kid. He's like, bro, you'll never be better than Brolin if you do this. And it's like, oh no. It'll be a wrap. It'll be like, you're weak as hell. You'll never be perfect, Cell. It's fine.
That's the thing. Like, I find it so funny the fact that in some years now, all of us are going to be like parents or something like that, growing up talking like, man, these kids don't know nothing. They don't know what we had to deal with growing up as I take a sip from my coffee cup with an animated cartoon on it. You know, like, that's...
I'm
what the fuck?
One day, I'm going to lie to my kids and I'm going to throw them through the loop that like our parents used to say, or grandparents. I went uphill both ways through the snow to get to school. I had to trek 15 miles. I'm going to say some really out of pocket stuff, just random things that are like way over exaggerated and be like, you guys have it too easy now. And they're just going to be like, what? And I'm just going to sit there and be like, I have to continue the legacy of my parents of exaggerating things that really weren't that difficult.
Even
and
though
I feel like
they dig a tunnel every day.
Yeah,
to get to school.
Ethan was like, I spent my entire summer digging a tunnel through a mountain to make it easier to get to school, and I still walked up the mountain every day. And it's like, why?
Because it was for the other kids.
I did it for all the weak little children, the kids in wheelchairs and on crutches. I still took the hard way.
You want to know who was out there helping me dig that fucking tunnel? Your Uncle Statler and your Uncle Pugs.
Yeah.
No, I didn't do that shit.
Out here. Nah, Pugs was the supervisor on site. Like,
no, I was just there, man.
With this animated cartoon coffee mug, sipping away, doing nothing.
Bunch of nothing.
We had to build Pugs a chairlift to get him up and down the mountain every day. Like,
Shit,
I'm just there
like-
chilling, bowl of
we
soup. I'm
accidentally
like, man,
paid,
what the fuck is your guys'
Uncle
problem?
Brock twice.
I'm just sitting there as like, guys, why couldn't we just take the bus?
Dude,
Fuck the bus.
I already know that, like, you know, even for Colin, I'm sure, like, even if you don't ever end up having like kids or anything like that, like, you could still just be like, all right, guys, like, whatever I tell my children, just reinforce it, just
go
make
with
it good. Like, Colin will be there one day, and you know, your sister will be like, all right, like, yeah, we used to have it so hard. We used to do all this hard labor all day, and Colin would be like, yeah, 50 hours every single week during the summer,
That's
Monday
right.
through Wednesday. That was our 50 hours of work, and
Boss
we would
man
get
got
one
me
bowl of soup. And us
working.
too. Yeah.
If you ask for a
Colin would be
second
like,
bowl
yeah,
of
we
soup,
did.
you better be ready to get struck.
Please, sir,
Yeah.
may I have some
Colin
more?
was like,
What?
Colin goes, yeah, when we were kids, if you asked for a second bowl of soup, they used to hang you by your ankles for 20 straight hours. It's like, all right, buddy. I would just tell him
Nah.
stuff like that just because I could. And then
There's gonna be
one day I'd be like,
nothing
you know what, I was
better.
just messing with you guys. It's fine.
It's gonna be nothing
Just
better.
gas.
Don't ever have to
Gaslighting
worry
children is
about
funny.
kids. Then I just get to come back to Michigan like once a year, visit my nieces and nephews.
Dude,
Just be the
gaslighting
cool
Colin would
uncle
children
for like a weekend.
Colin will just throw some crazy stories that just
Right.
might be a little bit exaggerated, and
Well,
it'll just be nuts. It'll
they
be
just
nuts.
fuck up our timeline of stories. Fuck.
Dude, I love pissing off kids so much. I mean, it's one of the reasons why I stay coaching. But like, just an example, Christmas Day, right? I go to visit my brother, see my nephews and stuff like that, right? I don't even get one step in the door, and my nephew Jason just comes at me. He's like, "Oh yeah, we got 2K already on downstairs. We want to play you." I'm like, you know, the same thing happens every single time. So I go down there, and I smack him by 30 points. You know, it's just the way it is. Jason quit before the first half even ended. Aiden didn't know what he was doing for the second half. It was great. But no, we switch over to Madden, and Jason's oddly, like, he's oddly confident that he's going to win this game. And so I go ahead, I pick the Lions, and he picks the Vikings, right? And we get into the game, and I go on a drive, I score. But it's like, I'm noticing little things. He goes for a drive, literally one play scores. And it was just a player so fast. Little did I know, he created a player and maxed out all of his stats. He 99 to every one of his created players' stats. He was a wide receiver. Now, again, I say he picked the Vikings. Who else is on the Vikings squad at wide receiver?
Jay Jettas.
99 overall, Justin Jefferson. So, literally the two possible best players on the edges, one literally being almost impossible to tackle. And on top of that, I figure out later, because everybody is moving faster than every one of my players, I come to find out he's got it on fucking rookie mode while I'm playing on all Madden. I'm just sitting here, I'm like, you're cheating twice in one game? Like, what are we doing? The worst part, too, is I figured out what his game plan was. It was literally either just throw it deep, like on a straight route, or run a jet sweep with his created player. And every single time I started cutting out his motions and stuff like that, I ended up winning by like 3 touchdowns. Oh, dude, he was pissed. He walked out of the room and everything. And of course, my brother's just sitting back, cracking up, like, man, this is what I used to do to him.
Hey man, just don't cheat.
Yeah, man, cheaters
That's
never
it.
prosper unless you know, they do. I mean, they either do
Unless I get
or-
caught, you know?
Yeah.
Cheaters
Ain't
never
cheat.
prosper until I'm caught. So
I mean, it ain't cheating until you get caught. So
Well, if you ain't cheating, you ain't
that's
trying.
a fact.
And I mean, you're either gonna get
That's-
caught or you're not.
That's
So
facts.
Well, any last thoughts for the last podcast of the year?
last podcast of the year, man.
Right.
Wild stuff. Yeah.
What are we on? What number is this? Is this like 13?
I don't even know now.
I think it's 12. I want to say it's either 11 or
10.
12, I think.
it's 10.
Man, we're already like
Is it?
double digit
10 or
weeks
11,
in.
yeah.
That's crazy.
This will be 11 for us. Yeah.
Okay.
About
Yep.
3 months of podcast.
Well, cheers.
Nice.
Yeah, cheers to I mean, now officially this is we're in the double digits, man. We've gotten it
right.
moving, and I know, like for anyone that listens, like the inconsistency of a few of us, like we've been doing our best to make sure that
I don't know what
we're
you're talking
we're
about.
all on schedule.
We weren't.
Yeah, that's facts.
Rock that.
But I mean, it's still very cool. Like even if we get 4 people that listen, like it's still sweet to know that people
Somebody took the
listen in,
time
and
out of their
it's really
day.
cool. Yeah, for sure. It means a lot to us. I mean, we're once again, we've always kind of said it like we're not doing this to make money or anything like that. Like we just enjoy doing this because it's funny.
But it'd be
We have
cool,
a good
wouldn't it?
time, and it'd be a lot
But I
cooler
mean,
if
if
you did.
there are any sponsorship opportunities out there, we are always curious and looking over here at the
I
Battle Tavern on
I
Instagram,
will.
Spotify, YouTube, Reels, everything that I don't know how to use.
Yeah, if there's anything that's embarrassing, Pugs will try it. If there's anything cool, the rest of us will try it. So if we get like if we got like a Hanes sponsor or something, like
Oh, I
I'm
would
getting
rock the
Pugs
fuck out of that.
in a I'm getting Pugs in like in like the man thong. Like you guys ever seen Borat? You know where he has that insane
That shoulder
swimsuit that's
strap
like, yeah,
thong.
dude. If we can get a version of that for Pugs, I would gladly let him do that. Some
Doug,
of you may be
I would
willing.
love a
Some of you
Hanes
may die, and that's a
sponsorship.
risk I'm willing to.
Give me some free draws. Give me some socks. I'll be straight, man. I'll be cool with that.
No, but we genuinely like. To me, we've had fun. I've enjoyed this. So, thanks to you guys too for being here and
Yeah,
keeping this going
it's
because
one of the
it's
few
it's
things
it's
I get
tough
to look
sometimes,
forward
but
to
it's
each
been
week.
really fun. No, it's
Yeah.
really fun. We'll see how the next year kind of comes up as some of us will be coaching lacrosse and stuff. I'm sure we'll talk a lot more about that, a lot of goofy stuff that's been happening.
The monsters.
And all the fun stuff that are to come. Make sure to send us some suggestions. Keep talking
Leave a
to
Send
us
me
like.
if
some
you
hate
if you feel like
comments.
it. Yeah.
Send
If you
hate
throw a few hate
comments.
comments, if we
We'll
can
read 'em.
collect like 15 hate comments, I'll read them out loud and just have Pugs just blind react to like people being like, "Yeah, Pugs, you're annoying. I hate you." That is so funny.
Oh,
So
dude,
throw in some
you
funny
couldn't
stuff.
give me that kind
We'll
of
talk about any
opportunity.
topic.
People aren't ready for
Honestly.
that. This shit ain't nothing to me, man.
40 days and 40 nights with just in the
That's true.
Sahara Desert with just a pack of Newports and a fifth of Henny.
Mm,
That shit ain't nothing to me, man.
true. Anything else from you fellas?
I got nothing.
Props.
Just
Happy
appreciation.
New
That's all we got.
Year.
I think that's where we're
Happy
at.
New Year.
Happy New
Yeah,
Year.
this shit ain't
So-
nothing to me, man.